Do I have to start with a disclaimer that my casual tweeting friendship with Dallin Weeks won't sway me on my thoughts on this album? It's probably for the best. It's the professional thing to do. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Bill, and this is Trying to Stand, where I try new things in pop culture because I've been living under a rock. I guess it's almost been a year. Last Thanksgiving was the first time I listened to Idkhow, and it was because we were seeing them open for 21 Pilots last December, which was the last concert we went to before 2020 revealed itself. But yeah, thanks to you guys and your suggestions, I've been getting into Idkhow's music. Full title, I don't know how, but they found me, for those who don't know and they're watching this video. I've really been enjoying their music. They've also given me, I'd say probably one of my favorite Christmassy holiday based songs. But yeah, I've done some videos on their music. I've been waiting patiently for their new album Razzmatazz to come out. It's finally here, and I'm going to be sitting down to listen to the whole thing. I haven't listened to any of the singles because I haven't done videos on them. I've just been waiting for the album. Singles don't go too well right now, so that's fine. You know, this is what we do. Yeah, I really enjoy their stuff. I'm interested to see how the album's going to go. Congratulations, by the way, this is their debut album. Let's do this. It's gonna be definitely interesting because a lot of times I sit here and wonder how much of the music that any artist is dropping right now, was it written in a pre-2020 world, or is this something you started to make in 2020? I don't research stuff, so I IDK if. And yeah, we're starting with the official music video for Leave Me Alone. Message received. Ooh, but like these visuals, like this is 2020. God, sir, I love your voice. Ooh, damn. Ah, God. Oh, I saw the skeleton. You find a brand new God. Ooh, the note and the lyric. Break out of the Matrix. I'm sorry. Is Dallin Weeks and Clockstoppers? God, I love the sound of that song. They really found a way to... Oh God, what'd I do? No, the ads are so loud and confusing. Watch ads. They stimulate the internet economy. I love, the visuals that were used there and like steering really into the skid of 2020, if that makes sense. Like still kind of keeping the visuals of like being observed or being controlled or monitored, I think blends well into reaffirming like safety was involved when filming this, which I really appreciate. I'm one of those people who thinks of that a lot now. But there's something about their sound where I love this like relaxed smolder combo. First, I took it as breaking out of the Matrix through trying to, you know, agree to whatever testing or experiments is going on while they're playing music. I felt like it was kind of the next stage after previous songs where it's about like over-analyzing music production and like music videos. The new government invention of music, I liked how this was more like an experiment or monitoring, and I kind of liked this idea of the thing that's trying to be monitored or contained can't really be contained. I really enjoyed that in the visuals. The performance, especially Ryan while he's playing drums, I think I'm really bad at rhythm just as a human being, so I think it's really impressive when someone can, you know, have those side-eye looks and getting prodded and having the giant, you know, Back to the Future looking hat, the like helmet do thing, and like still be able to play. I think there's something about that that's really impressive that I enjoy. There was something about it too, the experiments and the visuals, like you don't understand how your success is happening and you're trying to like monitor everything about it, and then having that kind of sci-fi element kind of towards the end with the Clockstopper's hands, which yes, I'll keep calling it that because I don't know a better word for it. But there was something about it where it's like there's more to it than something that can be measured, if that makes sense. But I also love incorporating the sci-fi visuals, having like that big observatory box and then a bubble. It made me think of like over analyzing and realizing that there's like a chemical X. There's an extra component here that's not being monitored or considered. And I kind of liked that realization in your art, in your craft, in what you're producing, what you do for the world. But let me take a look at them lyrics. Big shot, so what? Do you want to pretend you took the money but the money couldn't buy a friend? There's already something about it where it's like going for that more kind of like retro and modern combo at the same time. That alternative sound, I guess, is what it's labeled as on iTunes. Ignoring conformity and not wanting to be controlled, and again pairing that with the visuals of being so heavily monitored like that and still being able to kind of disconnect or see through it, not wanting to be compared to others or being told to like make it sound more one way or look more a different way, doing something you want to do as opposed to following a formula and following steps. For me, it kind of, the music video especially, really embodies what I like about their sound, because it feels so different, both original and homage and nostalgic, like kind of all at once, but like with sound, pairing it visually where it like feels like a defiant move, like that feeling of like, you know, the machine can't track what you're doing, like what you're doing doesn't make sense to others, and it's like, yeah, let me do my thing, leave me alone. And I really enjoyed that. It's a perfect blend of I want to relax and listen to this, but it's also, it has like those spices in it of I need to like get some of that energy out. Like it makes me want to move, and it also makes me want to like sit and chill, and I feel like it kind of placates both those thoughts for me at once. All right, and next we have Mad IQs, which is intimidating to a smooth brain boy like me. Oh, this one's funky. Good. Ooh, yeah. Sorry, that gave me so much energy. Ah, oh God. Oh, that was the perfect distortion moment there. Woo! I'm not sure who pissed you off, sir, but why? How? The ads, they yell at me. I don't, it's the most ironic thing, because I was about to say, I feel like this was a shot against like, you know, an agent or a label or some sort of like, you know, executive like telling you what to do, because it's like you're making all these stupid decisions, like, you know, like being frustrated, but like I'm voluntarily signing this up, like I wanted to pursue this industry or this life or be in entertainment in general, and then this beer commercial is just shouting at me, and I'm like, thank you very much, I think you proved the point, not gonna say the beer, so, you know, drink water. Anyway, I really liked that song because it felt like it was kind of being frustrated with company image like mentality. It wasn't like a pure straightforward anger or aggression or rage, because like it was interesting how it kept feeling smoldered, and then like occasionally with those like high notes kind of peeking in there, it was like little spikes. You can lose all your money, or you can find enough to sleep, like you can lose everything, or you can finally be in that wealthy range where you can feel secure financially. That kind of risk that's involved when your choices are putting up with that to survive or pushing against it and risking everything, maintaining your soul, your individuality, and then also that reality of like, even if you make all those sacrifices, at what point would it make any more sense, because you could just be replaced. Kind of like do it all the time. And I kind of like how so far with both of these songs, it's kind of like continuing that concept, like finally hitting that breaking point, but then realizing that you're kind of trapped. You know, like you could easily be replaced. Like you're risking and sacrificing so much by speaking up, changing course, saying something, disagreeing, refusing out and out, you know? And I kind of like how the song itself, like you can really feel that like frustration, that like kind of gritting your teeth. I really like those moments where, you know, we're kind of flipping up into some falsetto notes, something finally kind of slipping out, hitting that breaking point, and yet realizing how much is at stake that now you're at this point. I love the sound of it, and it's so impressive to like be able to encapsulate so much. It's not pessimism if this is an experience or something close to what you've experienced or something you're actually worried about. Exploring that kind of like hostility and negativity and frustration, and like keeping it right in that, like the water's starting to bubble and boil, but like nothing's exploded, nothing's overflowing yet, right in that pocket. And I think that's such a fascinating, like it's a little too precise to not feel intimate like that. You know, having those lyrics that also kind of point the finger back at like, this is what you thought you wanted, you know, in that moment of like realizing that this isn't reality, or this isn't what you wanted anymore. It's the lyrics, because already I'm burning in your mad IQ like an evil genius, but also it feels very sarcastic. Like there's something so insulting underlined there, and then, you know, twisting a knife, colonial tone, like it really makes me feel like it's not as broad as like, oh man, music's harder than I thought it was. It's like this specific aspect of it, or company or situation, you know, you don't know how much you can push back without like sacrificing so much. Calling into question the character of the person or people that you're dealing with, but also kind of examining how you got here. And it's like, you know, because of these awful experiences and controlling people, like they've taken something from you. They've warped your dream. They've warped your goals. They've warped the thing that you enjoy. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, twisting the knife like feels like betrayal. You can bend or you can break. Like at some point you're losing what you wanted, or they're taking from you what you like to do. And like I said, that constant smolder that's like right on the edge of a breaking point. It's really fascinating to like keep that energy going throughout. I really enjoyed that. And next we have one of my personal favorites, Nobody Likes the Opening Band, which I ironically heard for the first time live when Idkhow was indeed an opening band. This one might be a little shorter because I've heard this song before and I've talked about it a bit in my video about seeing them live with 21 Pilots last December. But yeah, let's do this. I love this song. Nobody likes the open. I'm sorry, I love the tambourine starting there. I do, Mr. Weeks. Ooh, show off when you have the talent to do so at the end, sir. I know there's a professional term for it, but them slidey doos at the end make me excited. I love your voice. There's something about that song that always, like, it makes me laugh, but it also, you know, the obvious things like encouraging one to expand their mind, give them a chance, you know, while also those uncomfortable feelings or anxieties, the no one's really here to see me kind of feeling, you know, someone who's, you know, had to do a tight 10 that was really a tight 4 for someone else to do 40 minutes. I really enjoyed this song, and I think there's something too about after mentioning secondhand instruments and you start hearing just that really slight tambourine in the back, like comical, like someone needed something to do, you know what I mean? Like I picture Ryan just kind of like, I don't know why, it just makes me laugh. It has a very overture kind of feeling to it that I really like. Self-servicing sounds so negative, but self-servicing in the sense of like, prove that you can hit these notes, prove that you can carry a tune, play some instruments, you know, get that out for you so then you can, you know, start the show, do your best. Hopefully someone other than mom and dad is listening right now, you know? Maybe someone will, buy a shirt. I love it because it's also like, you're not alone for judging yourself, or it feels hard or difficult. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just that energy of like so much desire and promise to come. But I don't know. Show off when you got it. I enjoy that song. And next we have the, sorry you have to wait a couple more weeks. No pun intended there. The lyric video for New Invention. I remember this dropped when the album had to get pushed a couple more weeks. This is not a pun. I support when artists have to push things back because of, you know, 2020 complications. That makes a lot of sense. It sucks. It ain't fun. Do what you think is best. Do what you gotta do. Mr. Weeks, you gotta get up. Devil on the shoulder. Oh, that's cool as hell. Ooh. Ooh. Whew. Ironically, that was great control there. Damn, this song fucks. The visuals are making me so nervous though, but also I love the text work with the effects there. Damn, well first off, again, I really like how that sounded. I liked how it felt a little dazed at times, which I really enjoyed. You know, after having the previous tracks being on so many like negative experiences or, you know, being controlled or even going with the visuals, like being monitored, it felt like, you know, bad dreams, like as in like PTSD or like stress, trying to focus on the positive changes in your life, like all the good that's happened, but like you can't quite, the promise of good things doesn't remove the effects the negative have had. I found it really interesting. I love the way it sounded. Having that freedom with your voice, something I've openly admired several times already in this video and in other ones, but there was something about it here where like it almost sounded like being short of breath. You know, like you're trying to process everything and something kind of like surprised you or you were kind of taken aback. I really liked that. And it was like repetitive, so like it felt also like a choice. Like that, I don't want that to sound negative by any means. I loved too, like with the visual, making those little adjustments to the machine and then like the text and everything kind of going around. Like it felt like I said, like side effects, like lingering things from the past. But I like the idea of they like went back to that laboratory and all the doctors and everybody are gone, and so they're trying to like see if they can undo it or use the technology. Like, I think there was something very like experimental in the song as well as in the visuals. I don't know, at first I thought it like kind of had like a breakup, I'm leaving, I'm changing kind of storyline to it at the beginning. I don't know, maybe it's almost like as if some of the things that like were starting to help just weren't. Like, I like the idea of I'm having these bad dreams despite your good intentions. Maybe it's about ignoring the problem. Like, it's just about like doing something. You've been broken down, let's build you back up, instead of what happened that made you broken down. You know what I mean? Limited as they were, I did like the visuals of feeling like it was a lot of trial and error with the buttons and the machines whirring around, and again, the Back to the Future helmet. I like kind of that sense of exploring. Like, it felt like there was a lot of uncertainty and a lot of change, but also a lot of like trying to come to terms with both what's happening and what's happened at the same time. I think it's about change, and it's about effect, and I think it's about things that we ignore, you know, until they start to like become bigger. Feels like you're running out of holy places. Now the room is getting quiet. Shh. Oh, what a shame nobody taught you how to read and write. Like I said, struggling with what has happened in the after effects and what is happening now. Like, it's when it gets to be too much to handle, or it's so multifaceted that it's like some people, or the people you're finding that people around you, or we as people, it's hard for us to educate ourselves and, you know, stand up for what's right at the same time, advocating for something and educating yourself on others, you know, whether it's personal or it's society or it's just an observation. I really like that idea of like trying, but like, you know, you're just putting a band-aid on it, or you're not focusing on the correct things, or there's like more to it than something simple. Through the structure of the story of the album, it makes me feel like it's, you know, while still dealing with the story behind like Leave Me Alone, and I'd say even Nobody Likes the Opening Band, where it's like the stress of being new, the stress of feeling manipulated, you know, that breaking point. At what point do I speak up? Am I sacrificing everything? What's going to happen to me, my future, my career? Like, I don't want to be controlled. I don't want to do something else. You know, feeling trapped in that, starting to break out of it. And it's like you're still nervous about it. It still affects you. It still bothers you. You're having nightmares, bad dreams about it. Despite well-intention, you're just trying to build me back up while I'm trying to understand it. If that makes any sense at all. I love the song. Like, and there's something about it where it does, like, musically it's very like chill, soothing, funky. The lyrics make me so anxious and nervous, you know, kind of keeps you in that stressful insomnia kind of, you know, everything's buzzing while you're trying to get everything to like relax. It, again, like, it feels like bottling a very specific emotion musically into a moment. I like that feeling of like wide awake but also exhausted. Like, it feels like insomnia. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like stress. I kind of like that idea of, while not discrediting the good intentions of people trying to, you know, help you, it doesn't remove what's happened. The bad dreams are still here. I feel like you've just tried to build something new while I'm still trying to excavate a dig site, you know? And I really like that. Like, it's advocating for that investigation, that consideration. That was a banger. And next we have From the Gallows, which makes me think of Hallowed Be Thy Name. Ooh, I like that vinyl skip, and now it's like kind of... You're beautiful. Ooh, thank you. And vile. Oh. Or kill myself. No, don't. Okay, well, this isn't the best relationship so far. I'll count all your teeth. Holy shit, sir. Guys, are we okay? Darling. Good. Ooh, yeah, I like how something's off-putting musically, too. Ew, but I also kind of love it. I like the idea of like a like that golden age musical era kind of like jazzy song, like almost like loungy, but then the lyrics are like super dark. I like playing with those levels a lot. That was really concerning. I like, it does also do a good job of you're beautiful, you're evil. before getting into this. Like, it's very much a negative, a toxic relationship. There's something so off-putting about the lyrics because there's something off-putting about the relationship. And then even musically, there's times where, like I said, you kind of feel the record skip. And then you can kind of hear like distorted moments, like almost like the illusion musically is breaking. I like how it kind of addresses how this isn't a good relationship. Like, it's a little, much like those kind of relationships, it just reveals itself eventually, and unfortunately sometimes it can happen very late. And I kind of like how this is a love song that instantly, those red flags musically kind of happen. The lyrics are already a huge, very bothersome red flag, but I like how it kind of encompasses and embodies that, where it's like you don't really know at the beginning, if not the person, the relationship between you, like if it's going to be a bad thing at first. You know what I mean? And I kind of really like how it illustrates that through its choices, but also kind of lets you, the listener, know too, like this ain't good from the first sentence. So I appreciate not wanting us to be disillusioned by this relationship either. It was still a great sound. It was still a great song for that feeling of music. Like, it didn't compromise its quality. I enjoyed it because, like, I think, like I said, every layer of this song illustrates the complexities of life and relationships, but also negative ones. But I think there's also a layer to it where it's also, as I sink my teeth even further down in my rabbit hole of a brain, I think there's also something too about it being so era specific. I think it also can speak to having rose-colored glasses about the past, and I really like kind of feeling that. I always feel hesitant calling it golden age or golden era musicals, aesthetic, whatever, but that's just what it was called for me when I was learning about musical theater history in school, kind of calling that out, where it's like, was it really a golden age for everybody? Like, and I kind of like that exploration of, how we can, whether it's a personal thing or societal thing, we can kind of look back on something dark a little too fondly, or unintentionally or intentionally negate pieces of history and information. And I really liked doing that with this style and era, but then also with the story of the song as well, with a relationship. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot. It also just sounded great. That's something else I really admired too, was, taking those moments to have like the brass moment in there. That was fascinating. And also, like, good God. Okay. Sorry. So this, I guess, used to be or I guess is, not used to be. It didn't, I don't know what you would call it, but this was, I keep finding a Brobeck song, and then I realized that it is that song. So, okay, I guess, would this be a cover or a remix? I don't know. But this is Cluster Hug. Okay. That sounds pleasantly stressful. Ooh, hell yeah. Oh, this sounds pleasant and stressful. Sorry, the rhythm of it's like really interesting. Ooh, hello. Whoo, sir, god damn. This strange, I could fall in love with you, but only if you want to fall in love. Like, it just feels like a lot of uncertainty, like self-conscious. It just feels so nervous and unsure, but also like determined. I like how it slowly like evolves. It's like not wanting to say I love you unless you want me to say I love you, and then ending it with I love you. Finally getting to that point. It's like something's holding you back. Maybe it's like your own insecurities. Addressing yourself as a teenage beauty queen of sorts really resonated with me. You're not naive, but you don't consider yourself fully experienced yet, which is fine. Like, move at your own pace, but maybe it is like a lot of, being timid, being nervous, being shy. It's almost like you want permission to love somebody, whether it's permission from that other person, or you don't want to feel like you're in that deep so soon. Like, there's an expectation that you're kind of letting down, like it's that weird mess of like, you feel it, you don't want to say it because you don't think you should, or you're nervous that it would ruin something or compromise your relationship or what you have already that you're building upon, or even being uncertain like what your relationship is or could be. because it's like, you know, I can fall in love with you only if you like me to. But then it's also like we can mess around, we can burn this town to ash. As charming as we are, we're nothing but pretty trash. Like I said, like maybe it is about expectation. I like that idea of, you know, being in a small town, like people are gonna talk, like who cares what they're gonna say. As charming as we are, we're inconsequential, like we're trash. Like it won't shake the fabric of the earth if we were to do our own thing, despite how much you're building this up in your head. Does that make sense? It wouldn't bring about the end of the world if we were to move into that I love you phase, or say it to each other, ending with I love you so, never let me go. Like finally addressing that, finally expressing it. I could not tell you if it is or is without merit. Like if it's all built up in your head, or if something happened and you're apologizing. But I do like that concept of fighting some sort of expectation to not express yourself, and then finally expressing yourself. Like whether it's an expectation you set forth or others, or you are referencing the small town, wherever that comes from, destroying that expectation, you know, removing it completely and just living in the moment. I love you, don't let me go. And I like that. And I kind of love, you know, going through these phases of like, what are we? Do you even want me to love you? Like being uncertain and like finally like taking that risk, or by communicating what you're feeling, getting to the point of saying I love you. So whether it's just jumping in and saying, you know what, screw it, I love you, or we've talked about how we feel and now we're at a place where we can say it, or I can say it at least, or the POV. And I like how it kind of resolves itself in that way at the end with I love you. I really enjoyed that. That was lovely. Someone correct me in the comments if that's a Brobeck song or not. I have no idea. All right, and next we have Sugar Pills. Ooh, it's an interesting, like, heavy feeling filter on that. No. Okay, unless this is ibuprofen. Okay, even if it is ibuprofen, that's too much. Oh, woo, sir. Sorry, I'm listening, but god damn, your voice, those notes suck. Ooh, fuck. That's not good. No, but also this song slaps. Damn it, I love this song so much, but it's so concerning. Not only can you hear that in his voice, but like it finally like clicked during the solo, where like it sounded musically like synapses going off in a brain. Like it had that like electricity to it. Okay, that was stressful, and I think that's the point. That might be my favorite one so far. I loved that song. That was a bang. Definitely about a fear that your medication isn't working, and now you're taking too much of it. The effects aren't working at all, or not working enough, and also abusing the pills, the medication not working, the prescription not being right, the like so many factors at play here. You're doing it so wrong, and I think that's the point. Is it's like being afraid that something else is wrong, being afraid that something is wrong with you. Like so much about like that stress and anxiety when the pill isn't working, and you know, self-medicating, possibly harming yourself. You can feel like that build up vocally. You can feel like something like kind of splitting and being off musically, and it keeps grinding. Like that song has a very strong and important message and has no business slapping that hard, but it really does. I loved that. I think, like I said, I think it's an important thing to touch on. It's okay to reach out and ask for help. Resources linked and in the description. Also, that reality of, you know, how you can lose control, or something can go wrong, and you shouldn't have to take it on alone. Again, kind of like with the Gallows, like it does a really great job at setting you up lyrically for this is wrong. Do not do this. By instantly, I take 2 despite any directions. Already, like, you're starting to get really concerned and taking 10 and losing count and all this stuff, and then being worried, like, what if it's not working at all? It's just in my head. Or what if it's the pills? You're taking 10 sugar pills. You know, like, you could be hurting yourself, being worried about addiction, being worried about, you know, the side effects, or that they're not working. This is no longer something that's going to help you. It's no longer functioning as medicine. It's just becoming a drug. And it's really interesting. It's devastating. That hook, like, sunk me in fast. Yes, I recently learned what a hook is. You can feel that, like, that control being inadvertently relinquished. Be careful. It's not all pills are bad. Making sure that you're not alone. You know what I mean? Like, there's something about that really resonates with me. That was a slap and bang bop. That one is so far my favorite track on the album. And next we have Kiss Goodnight. I don't have a joke here, and I think that's okay. We okay? You spend it with me. Ooh, I like that waver there. But if you think that it's right. Yes, consent. Ooh, this is like that school dance at the end of the 80s, like, movie. You know what I mean? Oh, and I love the flip on Kiss. I also like the break there with the I hope we kiss good night. I absolutely loved that. It had that very, like, sweet, calm, almost like fairy tale kind of presence, and then that, like, energy kicking in. It just felt like that electricity just, like, growing, and that, like, anxious excitement. I really loved the energy of it. I loved the way it sounded, and I loved, like, you could hear, like, those little flips, those little riffs, but they felt emotionally like wavers, like, you know, either being really soft with the word kiss, or like your voice kind of cracking when you're nervous, you know, trying to be smooth and tender. And I also loved the emphasis on care and respect, and that the driving goal here isn't I hope we kiss, it's that I hope I obtain you. It's like, I hope you want to kiss me too. I hope this is what we both end up wanting. I hope that this is reciprocated. Someone trying to nervously, you know, still play it cool. Like, you can almost feel like that, like I said, that, like, energy about it. Like, sensual and respectful. And, like, hell yeah for incorporating the two. You know, because of the synthy kind of nostalgic presence that they have so much with their music, it really did give me that, like, prom slow dance with you moment. I really liked that a lot. Girls Like You don't come with guarantees. Like, I'm not expecting anything. And again, that hope not being to win the trophy at the end. It's, you know, the hope being like you end up feeling the same, and that this happens. That was really nice and very relaxing. Feeling like the voice wavered, the excitement, and like that tender kiss with that flip. I really enjoyed that a lot. All right, and next we have Lights Go Down. Dodie, I appreciate your ad popping up here, but this is an Idkhow video. Oh, this one also makes me want to move. What a shame if you misspeak. Oh, damn. Whoever's in charge of these lyric videos, bravo, this looks genuine. That was interesting. I feel like it touched a lot on duality and, like, mistrust. I see what you do, like, step away. I think there's something about, after having a warm look at things like love and a cold look at things like the sacrifices you make and feeling like you're being controlled or told what to do or monitored heavily, then having a cold look at a relationship or a person. I like how it kind of felt very spooky, and like I said, that duality of like you're breaking hearts, like how you behave when the lights go down when people aren't really watching or can't see everything, and like this like cold synth, and they'll break our necks like we do when the lights go down. Like, someone could do this to you. Watch out for karma, essentially. That's such a fascinating like shift in focus. It just kind of surprised me that it like went so cold after feeling so warm. And next we have Need You Here, which is already, again, interesting after something so warm and then something so cold and like foreboding, and now it's Need You Here. I'm very interested to see what direction this is going to go in. Need you here with me. Oh, this one's so sweet. Need you here. Ooh, sir. I love feeling this like lullaby underneath it all with the piano. It's like a soft place with like a very grand emotion. Sometimes day after week. Oh God. Oh. They will always come back. That was really sweet. That better have been an actual child and not you doing a silly voice, sir. Oh, that really got me. God damn. I'm okay. That makes me happy too. Sorry, I'll try not to swear. There are children present in this track. I'd also believe if one of them's just really good at sounding like a child, but I don't think, well, like the level of like personal that felt. I don't think that's time for a bit. That was really sweet. Like I said, like it had that like kind of lullaby feeling about it too, but also hearing it like in the intensity of the vocals, like the emotion is so big. Your love for your children and your family, but like it comes from such a soft and caring place. I loved having that kind of layered with each other. And then the like, Daddy can't always be home really messed with me. I just miss my grandpa a lot. Ooh, it's okay. That's really sweet, really lovely. And like, I kind of love that idea of like a synthy Idkhow lullaby kind of thing. I really enjoyed that a lot. I really liked, like, you can feel like how painful it is when you have to leave. And like, it's kind of, I don't know, that's like some Pixar level stuff right there, where it's like, you know, here's the song to listen to when you're sad that I'm not here, that I wrote for you because I'm also sad when I'm not here. Like, that just kind of has that kind of storytelling element to it. I really like that. It really tugs at your heartstrings, you know? It's very powerful and comforting at the same time. I just really needed a song like that right now. Yay, a heckin' music video after things that make me feel sad. All right. Good sad, though. It's okay. It's important to feel your emotions. It's okay to feel what you feel. We're closing out the night with the official music video for Razzmatazz, or Razzmatazz. I don't know. I'm trying to make myself laugh. Okay. Oh, hell yeah. I love watching Ryan on the drums. Ooh, crap. Come on, that note. I love the obvious ugly green screen. Sorry, the guitar hand up was great. That sax solo was brilliant too. I'm sorry. I love the visuals being so over the top, but like, damn, I love the saxophone too. I really enjoyed that. That perfect blend, like the visuals being so like overstimulating, and then also like that intentional bad green screen effect that I love so much. And then like everyone kind of like flying and layering over each other and the effects not always working. I really enjoyed the visuals, but I loved the song too because like it was when we had the sax hitting with the drums, I couldn't tell you where it was, but it was like about halfway through. Like, it really gave me that like 70s Springsteen E Street Band kind of vibe to it that I really liked. And it just really, again, it's so strange to have music that dropped literally today, like giving me that weird nostalgia for the dad music that I like so much. But like having all those energies kind of clashing, like it felt so like chaotic, but like perfectly chaotic. But I just really want to delve into the lyrics because I felt myself getting more lost in, ironically, the glitz and the razzmatazz, the visuals, the music, his vocals, the notes, like I said, the clashing energy and like the fun effects. And I really want to sink my teeth into the lyrics because it also felt like there was a lot of tongue-in-cheek venom kind of holding that mirror up to something that you see. And so I'm really interested, but let's take a look. Maybe it's about being a distraction from the evils in the world and kind of pulling focus and possibly part of the problem, or like entering that like next level of fame and how it kind of shadows infamy a little bit, you know, like paying off my friends. In a vicious little paradox, we all become anonymous. Yeah, like, yeah, it kind of gives me that feeling of like feeling like you're part of a problem, refusing to be complacent with naivety, you know, like not wanting to, like being handed blinders and trying to keep your eyes open at the same time, if that makes any sense. Trying to forward your voice, your career, your presence, music or otherwise. Maybe it's about like when you focus on that so much and like you realize you've overlooked or ignored or haven't been aware of things, like you like having trouble keeping a focus on all of it, like you're like razzmatazz, like glitz, like glamour, like you're being bought in by fame and all these things, and you're not thinking of the consequences, because like it brings up like A Star is Born and that's the trade for everyone, you know, like it changes you, it affects the people around you, like maybe, you know, being blinded to consequence. Maybe it's about making it to a certain point or starting to gain traction, and like the people who you thought were helping you were really like manipulated or manipulating others. You want to be successful, but you don't don't want to sell your soul, you don't want to play the game, you don't want to be distracted, and you don't want to distract others. Once you were lifted to that certain point, it wasn't just you that became a star. Like, now people know who your family is, who your friends are, and like, you know, they could be paid off to tell stories about you or paid off to say nice things to you when things are going wrong, or like the reality behind the man behind the curtain. You know what I mean? Like that Wizard of Oz. This is really hard for me to articulate. Even realizing that like there is no such thing as freedom. Like, once you hit a certain point, you're in the limelight. You know, your decisions affect the people you care about, the people you work with, the people, you know, the companies you work for or are associated with. Kind of lose a lot of who you are and the decisions you can make, because now you're being watched, like you're under a microscope now. Decisions are being made for you. There's things you can and can't control. The handing the guitar and the microphone and no eye contact, and you know, not being in the same room and everything, it feels like superficial. All the visuals being so over the top, and then you have the Dallin Weeks like fancy man and cold persona kind of energy there. Like when things get so indulgent and you're not considering the people around you. That notion of like, if you were to give into that machine, like your priorities kind of getting out of line or disaligning with what they were, or worrying like either you're gonna treat people the way the elite do, like wanting to still maintain your individuality. At the beginning of the album, it felt like it was fighting back about being controlled and like visuals of being like heavily monitored and isolated. This final visual, it's like how it can kind of disorient you and change you. It's definitely interesting. I really liked the song. And it was kind of the same thing with like Do It All the Time, where it's like feeling so controlled and sounding so alive. After having so many warmer songs, having that cold Dallin persona kind of come back and that energy kind of get matched musically too. It's really fascinating. It was really jarring to have that duality there. You know, paint the town on your way home, like celebrate all you want, but the blinking lights are breaking bones. The damage that's being caused by the industry you're succeeding in, or the damage that's being caused that you're blind to or naive to. Now you're part of the portion of people who can afford to ignore those things. It's tough. I really liked Razzmatazz. I really liked Leave Me Alone. I think Sugar Pills is still my jam of this album though. But I liked the different places that it takes you musically as well as emotionally. I like that it literally time travels so much. And I'd even throw in there the Gallows, the one where it's like that very like jazzy kind of feeling. Maybe that's Back to the Future 3, where it's like now we're in the Old West, you know? I love your guys' sound. I love your talent. I really enjoyed this album. I think it really does a great job at exploring this like next kind of phase of this begrudging fame, being on the ship while you're trying to poke holes in it to figure out why it behaves this way. I like the journey that it took me on, whether it was the musical influences or the emotions or the energy started to shift. Like, it all kept being so balanced. Again, I think Sugar Pills is my deep track. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, there you guys go. Those are my thoughts on Idkhow's Razzmatazz. What do you guys think? What do you think of my thoughts? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like the video if you did, subscribe if you want more, share the video around to support the channel. I'm also playing Undertale on my second channel about gaming, Bill and Chill Gaming. Check that out if you'd like. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget, there are links in the description for information and education on Black Lives Matter, as well as the Trevor Project and mental health resources should you or someone you know need them. Please remember to be respectful and mindful of others. Be cognizant of what's going on in the world, and remember to take care of yourselves, please.